Stop trying to control life. Here's what happens next. When you stop fighting the storm. Life moves fast, sometimes too fast. Plans change, people change, weather changes, feelings change. You wake up with a plan. You want a good day. You want peace. You want success. But then something small happens. Traffic is slow. Your phone battery dies. Someone speaks in a cold voice. Your mood changes. You feel upset. You feel stress. You ask, why is this happening? You try to fix everything. You try to control the day. You try to control people. You try to control results. But life does not listen. Life is like the ocean. You cannot stop the waves. You cannot tell the wind to be quiet. You cannot hold the water in your hands. The more you fight the water, the more tired you become. Many people believe control brings safety. They make many plans. They write long lists. They check every detail. Planning is good. Working hard is good. Being responsible is good. But control is different. Control says, everything must go my way. Control says, if things change, I cannot be calm. Control says, I will only be happy if life follows my plan. This is heavy, very heavy. Imagine carrying a big bag on your back. Inside the bag are worries. Inside are fears. Inside are what-if thoughts. What if I fail? What if they leave? What if I lose? What if I am not good enough? You carry this bag every day. You feel tired, but you do not know why. The reason is simple. You are trying to control the uncontrollable. You cannot control the future. You cannot control other people's hearts. You cannot control every result. You can only control your actions. You can only control your words. You can only control your attitude. This is the truth. At first, this truth feels scary. It feels like losing power. But look deeper. If you cannot control everything, then you do not need to carry everything. If the storm is not yours to stop, then you do not need to stop it. You only need to learn how to stand in the rain. Think about a tree. When strong wind comes, the tree does not fight the wind. The tree bends. The tree moves. The tree stays rooted in the ground. Because it bends, it does not break. You are like that tree. When life changes, you can bend. You can breathe. You can stay rooted in your values. Rooted in kindness. Rooted in effort. Rooted in honesty. You do not need perfect weather to grow. Many people wait for a perfect moment. They say, I will be happy when I get the job. I will relax when the problem is gone. I will feel safe when everything is stable. But life is never fully stable. There is always something new, always something unknown. If you wait for perfect control, you will wait forever. Peace does not come from control. Peace comes from acceptance. Acceptance is not giving up. Acceptance is not weakness. Acceptance says, this is happening, and I will respond with calm. When you accept reality, your mind becomes quiet. You stop asking, why me? You start asking, what can I do now? This question changes everything. If you can act, then act. If you cannot act, then let go. Letting go is not losing. Letting go is choosing peace. Imagine holding a rope. On the other side is a heavy rock. You pull with all your strength. Your hands hurt. Your body shakes. But the rock does not move. What if you simply open your hands? The rope falls. The pain stops. The rock is still there, but you are free.
This is what happens when you stop trying to control life. You feel lighter, you breathe deeper, you sleep better, you smile more. Small things do not destroy your mood. Small problems do not feel like big disasters. You begin to see beauty again. The sound of rain, the warm light of morning, a quiet cup of tea, a simple laugh with a friend. Before, your mind was too busy controlling. Now your mind is free to notice life. Freedom is not about changing the world. Freedom is about changing your response. You may lose a chance. You may face rejection. You may hear criticism. But these things are not your identity. They are events. They pass like clouds. You are the sky. Clouds move, storms move. The sky remains. When you stop trying to control life, you discover your true strength. Not the strength of force, not the strength of anger, but the quiet strength of calm. Calm is powerful. Calm helps you think clearly. Calm helps you choose wisely. Calm protects your energy. Control drains energy. Calm saves energy. Think about your last worry. Did worrying solve it? Did fear change the future? Most worries never happen, and the ones that happen are often smaller than we imagined. Worry is like a movie in your head, a scary movie, but you are both the actor and the director. You can stop the movie. You can turn off the screen. You can come back to the present moment. Right now. This breath. This second. This is where your power lives. Not in tomorrow, not in yesterday. Now. When you stop trying to control life, you stop fighting shadows. You start building strength. You start living fully. You begin to trust yourself. You begin to trust the process. Life is not your enemy. Life is your teacher. And the first lesson is simple. You cannot control the wind, but you can adjust your sail. Part 2. When you release control, you discover your power. There is a strange fear inside many people. The fear says, if I stop controlling everything, my life will fall apart. But look closely. Is your life calm right now because you control it? Or is it stressful because you try to? Control feels strong, but often it is only fear in disguise. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of losing love, fear of being seen as weak. So we hold tighter, we plan more, we think more, we worry more. But the more we hold, the more pressure we feel. Imagine holding sand in your hand. If your hand is open, the sand rests softly. If you close your fist tight, the sand slips away. Life works the same way. When you release control, you do not lose power. You discover real power. Real power is not forcing outcomes. Real power is choosing your response. Let us look at a simple example. You send a message. The person does not reply. Your mind starts working fast. Did I say something wrong? Are they angry? Do they not like me anymore? You check your phone again and again and again. Your heart feels heavy. But pause for a moment. Can you control when they reply? No. Can you control what they think? No. What can you control? You can control your story. You can control your reaction. Instead of creating fear, you can choose calm. Maybe they are busy. Maybe their phone is off. Maybe nothing is wrong. You return to your work. You breathe. You continue your day. This is power. Small moment, big difference. Now think about something bigger. You work hard for an opportunity. You prepare. You study. You give your best. But the result is not what you wanted. You feel disappointed. This feeling is natural. But after disappointment, there are two roads. The first road is control. You blame yourself. You blame others. You replay the moment again and again. You think, if only I did this, if only they chose me. Your energy goes backward. The second road is release. You say, I did my best. I cannot control the result, but I can control my growth. You learn, you improve, you move forward. Your energy goes forward. Which road builds strength?
When you release control, you protect your energy. Energy is precious. Without energy, you feel tired, you feel negative, you feel stuck. With energy, you feel creative, you feel hopeful, you feel alive. Control wastes energy on the past and future. Release saves energy for the present. The present is the only place where change is possible. You cannot change yesterday. You cannot live tomorrow. You can act today. This is where your real influence lives. Many people think letting go means being passive, but this is not true. Letting go means acting without fear. Imagine you are planting a tree. You prepare the soil, you plant the seed, you water it. Can you control how fast it grows? No. Can you control the weather? No. But you can control your care. You can control your patience. You trust the process. If you dig up the seed every day to check it, it will never grow. Control is like digging up the seed. Trust is like watering it gently and waiting. Your dreams are like seeds. Your effort is water. Time is the sun. Release control and allow growth to happen. Another place where control hides is in other people's opinions. You want everyone to like you. You want everyone to agree. You want everyone to understand. But this is impossible. Even the kindest person has critics. Even the most successful person has doubters. If you try to control how everyone sees you, you will lose yourself. You will speak carefully all the time. You will hide your true thoughts. You will feel anxious before every action. This is not freedom. When you release the need for approval, something beautiful happens. You begin to live honestly. You speak with respect, but without fear. You act with kindness, but without needing applause. You become steady, like a mountain. Wind can blow, voices can shout. The mountain remains. Your worth does not change because someone disagrees. Your value does not disappear because someone misunderstands you. When you release the need for approval, you gain confidence. Confidence is quiet. It does not need to prove. It does not need to shout. It simply stands. There is also control in perfection. You want everything to be perfect. Perfect words, perfect plan, perfect result. But perfection is a moving target. When one thing is perfect, another thing feels wrong. You chase perfection. Perfection runs away. This chase creates stress. Instead of perfection, choose progress. Progress is gentle. Progress allows mistakes. Progress allows learning.
When you stop trying to control every detail, you allow space for creativity. Creativity needs space. If your mind is full of fear, creativity cannot breathe. If your heart is full of pressure, joy cannot enter. Release control, and your mind opens. You see new solutions. You find new paths. You meet new opportunities. Sometimes the best moments in life were not planned. A random conversation, a sudden idea, an unexpected change. If you were too busy controlling, you might miss them. Life is not a straight road. It is a winding path. If you demand a straight line, you will always feel frustrated. If you accept the curve, the journey becomes interesting. Let us talk about fear again.
Fear says, if you do not control everything, you will fail. But failure often teaches more than success. Failure builds resilience. Failure builds wisdom. Failure builds humility. When you release control, you are not avoiding failure. You are learning from it. And learning is growth. Growth is not comfortable. It stretches you. It challenges you. But growth makes you stronger. Think about muscles in the body. When you exercise, the muscle feels pressure. Small tears happen. Then the muscle heals and becomes stronger. Life challenges are like that. Control tries to avoid pressure. Release allows growth through pressure. You become flexible. You become adaptable. You become resilient. Resilient people are not people without problems. They are people who do not break when plans change. They adjust. They breathe. They continue. When you stop trying to control life, you stop fighting reality. Reality becomes your partner, not your enemy. You flow with events. You respond with thought. You protect your peace. Peace is not the absence of problems. Peace is calm inside problems. This is the power you discover when you release control. You are no longer a prisoner of outcomes. You are no longer a slave to fear. You become steady. You become clear. You become free. And freedom feels light. Part 3. Living free in an uncertain world. Now you understand something important. You cannot control everything, and that is not bad news. It is freedom. But freedom is not only an idea. Freedom is a daily practice. Each morning you wake up. A new day begins. You do not know what will happen. You do not know who you will meet. You do not know what news will arrive. This is uncertainty. Before, uncertainty felt scary. Now, uncertainty can feel open. Open like a wide sky.
When you stop trying to control life, you begin to trust life. Trust does not mean everything will be easy. Trust means you believe you can handle what comes. That belief changes everything. Think about a traveler on a long road. The traveler does not control the weather. The traveler does not control the road. The traveler does not control every obstacle. But the traveler controls one thing: the next step. Step by step, the journey continues. Life is the same. You do not need to see the whole path. You only need to take the next step. One honest action, one brave choice, one calm response. That is enough. When problems appear, do not ask, "Why is this happening to me?" Ask, "What is this teaching me?" Every challenge carries a lesson. Sometimes the lesson is patience. Sometimes the lesson is courage. Sometimes the lesson is letting go. Pain is not always punishment. Often, pain is growth. Imagine gold in fire. Fire is hot. Fire is uncomfortable. But fire removes what is weak. Fire makes gold pure. Hard moments can refine you. When you stop fighting them, you begin learning from them. This mindset builds quiet confidence. Not loud confidence, not proud confidence, quiet confidence. The kind that says, "I will be okay." Even if plans fail, even if people leave, even if doors close, because you know something deeper now. Your peace does not depend on perfect results. Your peace depends on your inner stability. Inner stability grows from practice. Practice breathing before reacting. Practice pausing before speaking. Practice thinking before assuming. Small habits, big change. When someone criticizes you, pause. You do not need to defend immediately. You do not need to attack. You can listen. You can reflect. If the criticism is useful,
Learn from it. If it is not useful, let it pass, like wind passing through trees. When a plan changes suddenly, pause. You can say, "This is not what I expected." Then ask, "What is possible now?" New paths often appear when old paths close. Many beautiful stories begin with an unexpected turn. If everything always went according to plan, life would be predictable, safe, but also small. Uncertainty gives space for surprise. Surprise brings joy. A chance meeting, a new idea, an opportunity you never imagined. These moments are gifts of uncertainty. If you try to control every detail, you may close the door to these gifts. Freedom also changes how you see success. Success is not only achievement, success is alignment.
Alignment between your actions and your values. If you act with honesty, you succeed. If you act with effort, you succeed. If you act with courage, you succeed. Even if the result is different from your hope. Because real success builds character. Character stays, results change. When you stop trying to control life, you start building character. Character is strong. It does not depend on applause. It does not depend on luck. It depends on choice. Your daily choices shape your future more than control ever could. Choice to wake up and try again. Choice to forgive. Choice to move forward. These are powerful. There will still be storms. Storms do not disappear, but you will stand differently inside them. Before, you tried to stop the storm. Now you build a stronger shelter inside. Before, you feared the dark clouds. Now you know the clouds will pass. Nothing stays forever. Not pain, not joy, not failure, not success. Everything moves. When you accept this, you relax into the flow of life. You stop clinging to good moments. You stop resisting difficult moments. You experience them fully. You become present. Presence is powerful. When you are present, you taste your food. You hear the laughter clearly. You notice the colors of the sky. Life feels richer. Not because problems disappear, but because your attention returns to now. Now is where life happens. The past is memory. The future is imagination. Now is reality. And in this moment, you are breathing. In this moment, you are alive. This is enough. Living free does not mean careless living. It means intentional living. You plan, but you stay flexible. You care, but you do not cling. You work hard, but you release the result. This balance creates peace. Every night before you sleep, reflect on your day. Ask yourself, did I act with honesty? Did I do my best? Did I respond with calm when I could? If the answer is yes, rest peacefully. If the answer is no, learn gently. Tomorrow is another step. You do not need to control the whole year. You do not need to control your entire life. Just this day. Just this action. Just this breath. When you live this way, fear becomes smaller. Worry becomes softer. You walk lighter. You smile easier. And something beautiful happens. You begin to enjoy the journey, not only the destination, because you understand a deep truth now. Life is not meant to be controlled. Life is meant to be experienced, felt, learned from, lived. So stop trying to control life. Release the tight grip. Open your hands. Stand in the wind. Breathe in the rain. Trust your strength. Take the next step and watch what happens next. You do not lose power. You discover freedom. And freedom is where real life begins.
If this message hit you,
then don't just watch and leave. Like this video, share it to someone who needs this wake-up, and subscribe to this channel. Study yourself 1 hour a day. We are building a different breed here, a new generation of doers, people who don't wait for permission, people who build themselves daily, people who compound quietly and become untouchable over time. Hit subscribe, join the movement. 1 hour a day, every day. And in 1 year, your future self will not recognize you anymore. Let's grow. Let's execute. Let's dominate our own potential. Subscribe now and start becoming the person nobody can compete with.